Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this latest rendition of Tales from Outer Space. Taken from the subreddit HFY. All the relevant links will be down below. And as always, I hope that you enjoy, and if you do, please consider supporting the channel. Now, on to the science fiction. Story number 1. A Light in the Dark, written by You Sure I'm Not a Robot. It says, human altered, aren't we supposed to call someone? The Fae were an old allies of the human, and most of their systems carried the warning, but today was not the day for subtlety. The captain reached out a talon and stripped off the sticker. I need weapons, and I need them now. Don't care what you need to do, just get them working. With that, he left. But Achal, lowly apprentice engineer, our catering crewman, stood there in silence. The human engineer had been a friend, but other than introducing hot sauce to his people, he had rarely mentioned what he was doing. He carefully removed the panel and stood back quickly. Nothing exploded. Instead, his comms began to beep. He pushed the on button, waiting for something horrific to happen, but then a face of an old human engineer appeared. Hello from the past. If you are fucking about with this array, I imagine things have gone to crap. If you just thought it might be fun to find out what happens when you rip off that sticker, well, welcome to your last days in space, as you will be blacklisted from any ship that would have touched. Maybe you can build your own if you think you can frick about with my work. If this is in danger, there is a really big red button under the heatsink marked 420. Unscrew it and carefully press the button. The human face glared out at him. Unless you have nothing to lose and are facing a real enemy, and you should go and play with something else. The recording cut off and erased itself. But Charles stood frozen until the enemy ship slammed more plasma into his ship. It took only a moment to find the compartment named Heatsink 420, but it was screwed down, welded shut, glued solid, and plastered with warnings. He drew his plasma lance and cut the obstacles away. No time for half measures. As he had expected was a big red button. He had heard in the rumors and myths that followed the humans that if you found a big red button, you get a wish. Either you wished you hadn't pressed it, or you wished you hadn't needed to press it. He pressed it. Something woke up deep in the systems. Something linked to his comms and read everything. Finally, it seemed satisfied, and a female human voice began. Under galactic law, humans are prohibited from interfering with any weapons array except for routine maintenance and registered orbital. Following recent court cases, including that of the metadata, this includes human AI, human clones, and those taking direct instruction from humans. You are Fae, species designated human ally. Please designate AI species affiliation. Bachal hesitated. Human? The very human voice continued. Designation failed. Do you wish to choose again? It finally dawned on him. Catering really didn't train you for this. Fae, you're definitely a Fae AI. This AI is now designated Fae and is entitled to engage in all weapon systems. Do you wish to proceed? Yes, please. I need a full restart and rebuild on the weapons. We're under fire and, He gave up, trying to be clever. Please, just shoot those bastard pirates out of space before they kill us. Help. Please. The AI scanned the system and the targets. Significant weapons discrepancies, significant power advantages. Primitive AI, poor system protection. Social weakness, poor social cohesion. Fair legal systems and morality would indicate that a hostile response is warranted. Please choose a response. 1. Immediate complete destruction of enemy craft. 2A. Disable enemy craft for surrender. 2B. Disable enemy craft for boarding, seizure, and intel. 3. Flare attack on enemy craft leading to systems insanity. 4. Surrender. Currently disabled, please contact your service provider. More plasma slammed into the ship and the lights began to fail. Batchal was ready to shout, just kill those bastards, but some old voice from the past, a lesson learned in childhood, warned him about this. The Fey had tried to challenge the humans once upon a time. Make them surrender. The 2B thing. The weapon system engaged, and as an unknown and unregistered human nanotech rebuilt the fading weapons array. The twinned pirate ships were immediately blinded by a systems flare that sent everything into self-shutdown. As the crew struggled with that, the traders' rebuilt weapons began a systematic attack on the weapons and engines, leaving them hanging in the dark with nothing to defend themselves. Their rudimentary repair AI was now chanting popular children's songs and crying. A very human voice demanded immediate surrender, or it would kill life support and turn up the heating systems. Her sweet, unflected voice informed them that they would die in a way that left them edible to most domestic animals. Batchel stood silently while the AI took action. He received the surrender in silence and passed it to the captain. His comms beeped again. All actions successful. This AI will now delete all records. Please reseal heatsink 420. There was a pause, and then the face of the human woman appeared on the comm screen. That was fun. Call me if you need me. Bye. He walked slowly back to the bridge, surrounded by the astonished looks of the veteran crew. Someone had remembered the ridiculous human ritual of social approval and began slamming his limbs together. Soon he was walking through a line of noisy crew members as they listened to the fading enemy beg to recover and rescue. The captain stood at his post. He had been in space for a very long time, and he had a bloody good idea of whose hand had helped the ship but took nothing from his apprentice engineer. Engineer Batchel, thank you for your assistance. I need you to go with security and begin stripping those ships for intel. Believe you know the way. Back on Earth, an operator was leaning back in her seat. She was still grinning when the director called her. So, does your clever new system work, or will I need to deny everything again? She laughed. No, all good. A pocket full of nanotech and a decent connection, and it worked fine. I'm in the middle of clearing up this mess, but, honestly, there hasn't been a human engineer on that ship for over 10 years, so I doubt anyone will even knock. Anyway, I was technically a Fae. The director of XCC cut the call and rattled it around in his brain for a while. Fine. He sent out an obscure message to his engineering core that Galadriel was approved. Now they all had a light in the dark places if they needed it. End of story. Story number 2. Human on Board. Diet. Written by Clonk 3D. Pillar in Darkness. Voyage. Pulcro Alpha 5 Iota Delta Epsilon 7 Iota Omega Eta 4. Personal Journey Log. Quirk. Body Maintenance Technician. Log number 313. Contextual translation enabled. Example. Dave is as bad as a Drex when it comes to getting him to eat right. Actually, I take that back. You can overpower a Drex and get them to eat healthy with a funnel. Sadly, that's not an option with Dave. Oh, and Dave is smarter and sneakier than a Drex when it comes to eating junk. Bracket, human is the new standard for difficult species to keep on a healthy diet. It started out simple enough, which, judging by all other stories about Dave I've heard, is a bad sign. I informed him that his nutrition requirements were drastically different from his actual intake. I even printed out graphs and this neat little graphic showing how much Dave deviated from his ideal body morphology of a human of his height, gender, weight, and selected DNA markers on 4-color printer in comms. Dave didn't seem pleased to be given this information. After much careful negotiation, totally not bickering and nagging, I was able to coax a reluctant promise to eat healthier. 2.655 days later, Dave was closer to his intake requirements, but still outside the accepted margins. I moved on to the next step in the diet checklist, which I have since had to completely rewrite, thanks to Dave. NSD nutrient and calorie restrictions. Dave's activity log showed that he was getting everything he needed and nothing beyond that. It also showed that he was only ordering amalgam nutrient paste from this point on. I was winning. This was about the time when I discovered I had human allergies. Classic symptoms, mind fog, coughing, and pain under the scales. Luckily, one of the body repair technicians, Fjernjörg, not Stilly, had the vaccinations prepared, so I only lost a few 1.327 days of work due to it. Reminder, get us something from Fredlelt as a thank you. While I was coughing and itching, Dave was figuring out how to eat things he wasn't supposed to. Turns out Dave was dropping his space back down into the recycler chute and reordering something exotic with the rig's passcode. He was jimmying the recycler chute open. I can't fix the chute, but I can get the Hirigi to change his passcode and let everyone know that the human will steal their passcodes if he gets the chance. I'm sure he'll find a way to defy me, but for now, I think I have him eating somewhat healthy. Valor in the darkness, Voyage Pulcro Alpha 5, Iota Delta Epsilon 7, Iota, Omega Eta 4. Personal Journey Log Arcus, log number 4512. Dear Diary, the human is offering rides. Mr. Onboard calls them piggyback rides. Basically, you just give him a Rapantni blossom and hop on his back, and he will tear off around the ship at breakneck speed. It's like the greatest thing ever. His body is crazy hot, so you get all cozy like you're in a sleeping pouch. If that sleeping pouch was zooming along really fast. This one time he was going so fast that he had to kick off the wall while rounding the corner. Then there was the other time when he vaulted over one of the hydroponics planters. He didn't even slow down. It's crazy fun. Even Sulkbad likes to do it, and he's an adult. Gotta find him and do it again. Bye. End of story. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed, and if you do, please consider supporting the author, even by popping over and leaving a thumbs up or a nice comment, just to show your appreciation for the story. However, if you wish to support this channel, there are links down below which will help immensely. I will see you all in the next one, and until then, I hope that you have a fantastic day. Cheers.